So delegating is number one. Number two, we know is credibility. All right, credibility. Like I said, if you want to become an investor that can like do any deal that they want, right? Then the way that you do that is by building credibility. Okay. And so one of the ways that you take advantage of building credibility is you utilize social media. Is anybody here on social media? And if you are, what are the platforms that you're on right now? I'd like to know. You have to take advantage, and it doesn't really matter which one. Like I said, pick one, master that one, right? And then if you want to, you can do one, you can do them all or whatever, right? But essentially master one, move to the next. And that's your guidance for me. Master one, move to the next. What are your platforms that you're good at? See, and I and like people like Instagram. It's like I'm only on Facebook. That's it. Like I don't do anything else. But my team does everything for me. But on Instagram, I like Instagram because you can post on Instagram and then you can syndicate it to Facebook. So that's kind of cool. That's like two birds with one stone. I don't do that. I just have like an Instagram person and like a Facebook person. But you want to definitely take advantage. So do you guys have a platform that you utilize right now for real estate investing? And if so, what is that? Somebody said Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay, yeah. So what was $100 for 24 hours to create a marketing portfolio for me for this company that we're starting. Basically, it was like this huge long marketing thing that they had to do, and I was sitting there trying to do it myself, and it wasn't working. Okay, that's what I was talking about. So Instagram, yeah. So basically, most people are like, I'm not on Twitter at all. We're not on Twitter. Is Twitter still going? I'm not even sure. And I'm not even on Instagram, but where my company's on Instagram. And essentially, I just hire somebody to manage all that because I don't even have time to be doing that a lot of times too. Right? That's something you could totally delegate if you're not into it. But if you're into it, then utilize it. But the truth is that you should have a business page for your real estate investing on whichever platforms you use on a regular basis, right? So if you're on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever it is, I don't know if Twitter has like business pages, I'm not sure. But you should be posting out all of the things that you're doing and start creating a following. So, and you also want to make sure that when you post out that you have you ask a question because you need to create what's called engagement. I'm sure everybody knows what engagement is, but essentially, like you want to create engagement, and the only way to create engagement is to like ask a question, right? Because you'll come up on people's feeds more if you're asking the question. It's not just about posting; it's about like likes and stuff like this. So you definitely need to be using credibility. Social media. I have bought property on social media. I have sold property on social media, and I have found private lenders on social media. Okay. And all because I just post out what I'm doing, everything. And we're all posting out, trying to tell I'm telling everybody what I'm doing. When I find a storage facility, I'm letting the world know. Right. If I find a property, any type of property, I let the world know. Now, and then like, especially with property, like if you're doing like, wholesaling or rehabbing, you're going through a property, walking it, you should be doing videos, posting those out. You should be doing pictures, posting those out. Don't post them all at one time. Schedule them out. So you'll have like a post a day or something. And then just post something and ask a question. But you got to take care of it and create that credibility. All right. Because really the truth is that it's such an opportunity. Social media is such an opportunity right now. And I think a lot of investors do not take advantage of it. All right. As much as they should be. And there's like a small group of investors that they're out there, and they build this credibility out. There's like a small group of us, and there should be more because there's a ridiculous amount of investors, right? So take advantage of social media, whatever your platform is. Okay, good. So credibility is the do you recommend I list property details? Yes, exactly. Post out. That's another thing. Post out like, post out like I'm looking for property. where you're looking. I'm looking in the exit in this area, post out like whatever you're looking for, anything that you come across and look at, post it out. You just never know. You never know what's going to come across your plate. So you should be definitely utilizing anything that you're doing with real estate investing, anything at all. You should be posting about it. Okay. Because what happens is it plants a seed in the people that are looking. I had like one person, like a friend of mine that I went to school in Australia with, and like I hadn't seen her since Australia, and that was like 20 years ago. And and then she like out of the blue just like messaged me, and then we're friends on Facebook, and she messaged, she's like, hey, I just want you to know I've been following you for the last 10 years. She's like, we have a little bit of money. I was wondering if I just invest it with you. And she's literally been following me since like day one. It took her 10 years to like say something, so that happens like all the time. Okay. So that's why I said you have to utilize social media, because you never know. And you can't ask for money. You can't ask for money on social media. Just post out your wins. That's all you do, is post out your wins. Anything that you're like, oh, I mean, just be anything like, oh, I walked a property today, or I'm running deal analysis right now and trying to figure that out. Like whatever you're doing, are you doing something every day for social media? Just post out what you're doing. I mean, every day you have wins. Okay. And so that's number 2, credibility. You have to be focusing on credibility and building credibility. Let's see, how else can you build credibility? And then another way with credibility is utilizing REI USA and letting everybody know if you have any property in the Facebook group. Right? Because as we grow, the group will get more and more active, and you should be posting out all of the properties that you're looking at and let everybody know, because you know what? There's going to be a lot of people in this community. We're going very, very fast. Now I'm going to tell you, people have money in this group. Okay. I already know people have money. And so you want to be posting out what you're doing, any properties that you find, any questions that you have, any rehabs that you're doing, anything like that. You post all these out in the groups, because that's how in any group that you have, you could just post them out. I mean, there's so many groups out there, right? So whatever real estate group that you're in, post them in that group as well too. Hey, I just got this property under contract. Look, and what I'll post out is like, oh, my lender's about to make 10 grand on this thing in the next couple of months. That's a win, right? So post out in the groups wins for you, but also wins for your team, right? And you can think about how are your teammates, how's your lender winning? Like, oh, I just bought this house and my lender lent me the money, blah, blah, and they're going to make, this much money, or whatever. They're a contractor. Like, I just love my contractor so much. He put this kitchen together. Look how awesome it is. Right? Something like that. You can do before and afters of your rehabs, whatever, all you can think of, whatever, and whatever that you're doing, you should be posting out. Get into the habit of posting out, not only on your own Facebook page, but also in the groups that you're in, especially REI USA. Okay. So build credibility. All right, can anybody think of any other ways? If you think of any other ways to build credibility, let us know in the chat so that we can all share in this, right? And then also one of my students, it's so funny, like she totally listened to me. So I love when my students actually listen. And like I got this newsletter from her. And because I in one of our sessions, I talked about, like, I used to put this newsletter together, email newsletter of all the things that I'm doing. And it would be like, I went to go look at this property here. I put this property under contract. I'm rehabbing this property. And then I would just and I'd say something in there about all my wins. I put something in there about like my lenders and how much they made that month. Right. And the wins of my lenders, and just kind of like a little sneaky tip on that. Never asking for money, just posting out all my wins and my lenders' wins and my contractors' wins and my team's wins. Right. And I would send this out, and I had like this, I started getting this huge database, and I would send it out like once a week. I would send out like the update for Diamond in the Rough. and just send it out. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I got properties that way because people be like, "Oh, diamond." Everybody knew diamond in the rough. It's coming up all the time. Like, "Oh, you're diamond in the rough. Here's a property. Is this a good one or not?" You know. Or I would get money that way. So I did like what's an email marketing list, and it started like super small. Like when I first started, I just had like X amount of number of people, and then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. Right. And then I was touching base on a weekly or bi-weekly basis and just letting people know like what's going on in our world and stuff. And I was doing a lot of rehabs. You just do once a month. Like she just does like once a month. Right. But I was doing like, I'm not doing like 15 rehabs at a time. So it was just like a little nuts. But so once a month you could do like just an updated newsletter. Right. It's another way you can do it. And there's so many different ways. And then another thing that I did too is I had a website, right? And you can go to my website if you want to check it out, stacyrossetti.com. Okay. And then like if you click on the investor section, I always have an investor page. And I educate. You can't ask for money, so I just educate people on what the private lending process is. And then if anybody's ever interested in lending me money, I just drive them to that page, right? So you should definitely have something like that. Okay. So I had like diamond in the rough, and then I had like a buy section, a sell section, and like an investor section, right, on my website. And then on my investor section, I had like a little map. And on that map were dots of every rehab that I ever had done. And I had like a shit ton of rehabs on that thing, right? So on my investor section, when people would go to my website and see that, I had it on the investor and the main section. When they go to my website and they see this map with like, and you could see like, ones I closed on, ones that I rehabbed, ones I held or whatever. I had like this whole nice, like my web developer made this like map. And I'm telling you, that definitely builds credibility. Right? When the investors go and they're like, crap, she's done like X amount of deals. Like, that's awesome. That's building credibility. So what you want to do is like think outside the box on how you can build credibility so that you can start attracting sellers and buyers and lenders into your life. Okay. So that's what I talk about. That's what I mean when I talk about building credibility. Okay. And let's see. Colleen said I had a website, but I took it down temporarily when I fully ramped up. The reason canceled was it was expensive. Once I'm up and running, I'll restart it. What's your typical cost for a website page? I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, I got all the bells and whistles. I mean, I got it all. So mine's really expensive. We use Bluehost now. We used to use GoDaddy, but now we use Bluehost. I don't know why, because that's just what my guy wants to use, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So, but actually, you know what you should do? It's kind of expensive though, but Carrot is a partner for us, and Carrot, they create websites for investors. I think it's like $500 or something. Okay. Carrots, that's cost. Yeah, carrots. It's kind of expensive. Carrots kind of expensive. I think it's like $500 to build it, and then like $129 a month. Yeah, I'm not sure, but they do SEO. That's why I like Carrot. So I'm a huge Carrot fan because they bring you leads, but it costs money. So it costs money to bring leads, but you can shop around. I know there's another website. There's another company called Investor Pro. They do like very basic websites for investors. I'm not even sure if they're around, but I know they're around for a while. What else is there? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what the websites. That's a great question to ask in the REI USA community group. All right, and see like where everybody's doing their websites at. You can get some ideas. Okay. Let's see what else. Yeah. So start thinking about how you can build credibility around your business so you can attract these buyers, sellers, and lenders into your life. That is what I'm saying. All right. So credibility equals money. All right. Credibility equals money. That's just how it works. Right. It's like Amazon reviews. That's why I keep asking everybody for Google reviews. Right. If you haven't done a Google review, if you could do one, that'd be great. But like, That's why I keep asking, like, people I mean, I'm a sucker for Amazon reviews. I'm like, oh, everybody did 5 stars, I'll buy it. So same thing, right?